people see us, they know. I feel so much for you that I don't know what to do. Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go. This time I must know for sure. Cause someone was before you, and someone let me go. But I just need to be sure. Some say love's not for the bitter ones. Some say love will only bring you down.
What's up, everybody? Bob here, and welcome back to the Black Friday Transformational Sales Workshop. Today it's session 3, and this is the one that I know many of you have been waiting for. We've got a jam-packed session for you today. So we're going to be doing a couple of things. First off, we're switching gears, and we're going to really start diving into the conversations piece of the plan. Yesterday, we spent the 2 sessions talking about content. We covered runway content, takeoff content, and today we're going to attack conversations. So we're going to start off today with what are the conversations that you should be having in the weeks leading up to Black Friday. The goal is this. We want to help you start to create momentum, but more specifically, imagine going into Black Friday with a list of hot leads for your business, people you've already spoken to, that you've identified they have a need for your particular product. You've connected with them around problems. You've built some trust, and they are ready to buy from you so that you can make effortless sales come Black Friday weekend. That's our goal. These 2 pieces, they work together in a really important way. Content is only as good as the conversations you have, and vice versa. So we're going to dive into conversations, but we're also, as promised, we're going to be announcing our 2 scholarship winners. We have selected 2 lucky people that we're going to be gifting a 3-month scholarship to our Love, Serve, Grow coaching. You're going to get assigned your very own coach that you are going to work with one-on-one to pretty much just take everything you're learning here in this workshop and put it into action. And we'll also be sharing a special offer that we've put together just for those of you that are in this workshop. If you're somebody that you know that this is the way you want to build your business, and it's great to know how to do it different and what to do, but you really want to get focused on what does it look like in action? Like you realize there's still some work to do. We're going to share an offer with you at the end of the day today that is, I think, going to perfectly suit your needs. So with that being said, I'm going to dive right into it because we do have a lot to cover today, and I want to make sure we leave some time for everything we want to cover. And we're also going to get a chance to hear from one of our students today. Her name is Megan. And just like Jamie last night, when you hear Megan's story, I think it's going to be so incredibly inspiring to so many of you. So let's go ahead and let's start the presentation, and we'll dive right into it. So first off, I want to just give an acknowledgement. Look, I want to let you know that this stuff that we're teaching, it actually does work. And so I wanted to share a message that we got in our group. This is one of our clients in Love, Serve, Grow. Her name is Stacy, and this is proof that what you're learning with transformational content works. She says, I've been doing it the Love, Serve, Grow way since July. I'm not selling. Every 10 posts, I'm making an offer, right? So she's being really conscious of that give to ask ratio. And look at the message that she got, unsolicited from a piece of her content. Somebody basically just saying, can I please buy from you? And so I want to let you know, like, this stuff actually does happen. Not only will you get better engagement from this plan that we're going to give you, you're going to get people just straight up messaging you and asking you. Now, I get it. This used to happen to many of you, but it hasn't, and it's because your plan is off base. And so we're going to get you back on track. So let's talk about runway conversations. So the goal in the first piece of the plan is we want to teach you a better way to start creating content so that you can increase the amount of likes and comments that you're getting on those posts that are related to your business. The second part of the plan is you have to be taking the actual engagement that you're getting, and you have to be proactively messaging these people that are interacting with your posts. And so I know for some of you, this is really where we need to work on your mindset and your skill set. We need to learn to give you a better approach of how to do this so you can feel more confident in your ability to create an opportunity for your business. But here are the two problems that I see the most when it comes to conversations. Some of you are way too passive and you're relying too heavily on your content. So you're waiting for Facebook or Instagram to show your posts to the people that have a need for your product, and you're sitting around waiting for that perfect opportunity where someone comments on your post and flat out says, hey, I'm interested, and then they message you, or that person messages you. Now, the problem is that's not happening for most of you anymore because your content isn't really connecting with people. But I would say the one thing that has changed the most is that if you want to win in this environment in social media, you must be way more proactive. You have to be starting conversations every single day with engagement rates as low as they are on social media, relying on the algorithm of the platform to essentially allow you to build your business is not a plan that's going to work anymore. So you've got to be more proactive. The second problem that I see is this. You're way too transactional, right? And so we talked a little bit about this yesterday. We're going to spend more time tonight really diving into what a transactional versus a transformational conversation looks like. But just to remind you, it's the same as with content. Transactional conversations lead with product and price. And so in the beginning of a message, if you're talking about what you do and what you sell, if you're leading with product information, that is the easiest way to kill your results because it triggers people's sales resistance. And when people feel like they're being sold to, they emotionally shut down. This is why it's so hard for you to get people to open up. This is the reason why you get ghosted so often, because you're triggering sales resistance. Now, when it comes to a time of the year like Black Friday, this is even more dangerous because the natural tendency is going to be to want to lead with the price and the promotion. But if you do that, you are no different than every other person that is trying to market and sell to your prospects. So we have to learn how to do something different. We have to lead with problem solving. We need to learn how to ask better questions. We need to identify the issues and dig deeper. And so this is what you're going to be learning today. You are going to be learning a better way to have conversations. So here's the key concept that I want to introduce you to for your runway conversations. We talked about it actually. We've talked about it before, but this is so critical to success. It's something that we teach in our Love, Serve, Grow program called authentic outreach. Authentic outreach is one of the foundational strategies of transformational selling, which is what we teach in our Love, Serve, Grow program. But I will tell you, of everything that we do teach, this one strategy will help you create results faster than almost anything else that we could possibly teach you. So authentic outreach is simply this. It's being willing to start a conversation with someone, knowing that you have a plan in place to be able to lead that conversation in the direction that you want, which is to find out if they have a need for your business. Now, most of you are either not reaching out because you're afraid and you don't know what to say, or you are reaching out, but you're doing it in a transactional way, or you're too passive and it's not actually turning into results for your business. So authentic outreach is direct communication, but it is incredibly effective because it helps you connect quickly with the person that you're actually messaging. So in your runway content, this is what we want you to do. As you begin to execute transformational content, and remember, at the end of the session today, I'm going to tell you how you can get access to that 21-day guide that we've created for you, where all you have to do is just follow the prompts. But as you begin to get more likes and more comments, all you're going to do is you're going to use authentic outreach to message every single one of those people. Now, what we teach is you should be using authentic outreach for any interaction on any post. In our program, we teach our clients how to send a message to somebody that liked a picture of what you ate for lunch yesterday, or a Halloween picture of you and the kids. We will teach you how to turn a like on that post into an opportunity for your business using this strategy of authentic outreach. And so it's a really, really important one. Let me show you an example of what can happen and what does happen when you are willing to be more proactive in your business. So this is a message from one of our clients in Love, Serve, Grow. Her name is Michelle. She said, this was a message. So she sent, this woman liked one of her posts. She said, I had sent her a message months ago, but she didn't respond. And so she used this authentic outreach. The woman liked a post, and then look at the message that she got back. So I need to get serious with my weight loss and eating. How much does it cost for you to help me? Unsolicited, did not even bring it up. Now, what I am showing you right here, we get some form of this message at least a half a dozen times a week from our clients. You will be absolutely astonished by just being willing to start conversations, right? Just being willing to be more proactive. What you'll find is there is so much opportunity sitting in your network today that you're not taking advantage of. There are people that have been following you and watching you that have a need for your stuff that are never going to reach out to you and ask for help. But if you simply give them a nudge, it will open up the door to opportunity. And so this is why being proactive is important, but it's not just about starting a conversation. It's making sure that you do it in the right way. So with that in mind, let's go back to a concept that I introduced you to yesterday. It's really important. This idea of an engaged lead. So just to refresh your memory, a lead is anybody that you could talk to about your business. So every single person you know, anybody that you could contact is technically a lead for your business. Now, the secret to success is not leads, they're engaged leads. So if somebody interacts with one of your posts, they are an engaged lead. Now remember, an engaged lead on a post related to what you do and how you help is worth so much more, because we can assume that if that person took the time to interact with that post, it's because they have some level of interest or need in an area where you can help them. So using authentic outreach to message your engaged leads is really a very powerful combination. So let's talk about that. Your action item for this piece of the plan is going to be just that. Use authentic outreach on all of the interaction you're getting on your transformational content. And the goal is we want to try to qualify if someone has a need. See, let's think about this. What if the goal, most people in our profession, their mindset and their goal is I'm going to put together a list of people that I can sell to on Black Friday. The transformational mindset and approach is I am going to build a list of qualified people that I know I can help. And I help them by offering them my product and selling them. It is a very different process on how you approach your business, but that's going to be what we're going to do. Now, there's two sources that I want you to focus on. Number one is the interaction from your transformational content, but here's the second one, your customers. You should be systematically reaching out using authentic outreach to every single person that is currently buying from you or that has bought from you at any time. Because here's the one thing you have to understand. It is 10 times easier to get somebody that has already bought from you to buy again than it is to get a new customer. One of the strategies that I think you really should be doubling down on is focusing on your existing customer base as a way for you to drive additional sales. And so we're going to teach you the right way to do that. So let's kind of dive into each of those individually. Let's talk first about your engaged leads that's coming from your content. So I'm going to share with you some examples of what authentic outreach would look like for an engaged lead. Now, I want to remind you, for those of you that have the workbook, all of this is in the workbook. So let's take somebody that is a comment. This to me is like the lowest hanging fruit. Let's say somebody leaves a comment on one of your posts that basically is them raising their hand saying, I'm interested. So here are two examples of what authentic outreach might look like in that scenario. So option number one, thanks so much for your comment on my post. So all we're doing is we're just acknowledging the reason why we are messaging them, okay? I'd love to share some information with you like you asked. Now that, most of you probably have that part down. Here's where you go wrong. You then start sharing the information, which is a big mistake, because that is leading with product information, not problem solving. And so you wind up just verbally vomiting over people, and you do it from a good place. But what happens is all they're looking for is a little sip of water at this point, and you just open up the fire hose and you just blast them. And so this is why people don't buy, because they feel like they're being sold. Now I get it. You're like, but they asked for the information. It doesn't matter. Leading with problem solving will help you make more sales 10 out of 10 times. So all you do, this is a strategy that we teach in transformational selling. We call it the why reframe. The why reframe. Very simple but powerful. Just ask them why they're interested. Hey, I'm interested in that product. Amazing. Can I ask you why? Hey, I'm interested in your business. Amazing. Can I ask you why? By taking control and leading the conversation from the beginning, you are now in the position of power. And instead of you talking and telling, if you can get the prospect telling you why they need the product, they are literally selling themselves on buying from you. Most of you do the talking and the telling, and all that does is push people further away. See, transactional conversations are pushing people to the close. Transformational conversations are pulling and leading. It is a very different energy. It feels different for you, and it feels very different for them. That's why it's so powerful. So that's one example. Here's a second example. Hey, thank you so much for your support on my post. I'm excited that you're interested in learning about what I've been doing. Remember, this is somebody that's interested. What specifically have you been struggling with in this area? So that's just another way of kind of doing the why reframe, but really leading it to what's the problem? Why are you here? Because we know that people don't buy products. They buy solutions to problems. They're interested in your product because they are hoping in some way, shape, or form that you can help them, or they're interested in you, right? So like if you're talking about the product, they're interested in the product because they have a problem. If you're talking about your process, they are interested in you and your process because they have a problem in that area. So we have to find out what the problem is before we can actually make the offer. So that's one example. Let me give you some other scenarios that you might come across. So the next one is this. Let's take somebody that is just a general comment on the post. So you might say something like this. Hey, thank you so much for supporting my post today. And by the way, I have comment here, but you could also insert like. It doesn't have to be a comment. It could also be a like. Because what I'm going to assume is that if you liked the post, then I'm going to assume that there is some level of an interest or need. And what I want you to realize is it is not coming from left field. It's not going to be inauthentic for you to ask this question. Remember, authentic outreach is just honestly acknowledging the set of circumstances that led you to message them. And authentic communication, by definition, is saying what you are thinking and what you are feeling. Most of you do not communicate authentically because you're afraid to, because you're always focused on the result of the conversation and screwing it up, and you're not focused on how you can help and the other person's problems. You can't be authentic if you are transactional in the way you're approaching a conversation. So, like or comment. Thanks for supporting my post. I'm curious, what are you doing right now when it comes to your makeup routine, your health journey, your skincare, your hair care, your health, whatever it is, whatever's related to your products? Here's where I see a lot of you going wrong. I'm going to just come off share real quick for 1 sec. So here's where I see a lot of you going wrong is you are way too passive. And so I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. We see this a lot with the health coaches that we work with, is they'll send a message to this kind of a person and they'll say something like this: hey, thanks for supporting, like whether it's their post or a client's post. So let's say you had a client post their results and somebody commented on that post. What a lot of the health coaches that we work with, what they're taught to do is send a message to that person basically saying, hey, thank you for supporting Susie's post. If you know anybody that needs to get healthier or something, let us know. That's not good enough anymore. It's too passive. You need to be direct in your communication. Listen, do you really think you can help people? Do you believe that you have a product and a process that can transform someone's life? If the answer is yes, then you have a responsibility in that moment. You have an opportunity to ask a question that could open the door that could help you change that person's life. And so you can't say, do you know anybody? You say, hey, I'm curious. What are you doing with your health journey? You got to be direct. It's not inauthentic to do that given the circumstances in which the message is coming from. So that's really what authentic outreach is all about. So let's go back to some of these examples. So let's take a comment where somebody is sharing, let's say, some information. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll teach how to use calls to action, not as a way to sell, which is what most people do. Totally wrong. You never ask people to buy in a call to action. You just don't do it. Maybe 1 out of every 10 times at most. But you use calls to action to encourage conversations. And so let's say you have somebody that comments sharing an answer or some other thing that's contributing to the post. So this would be an example of authentic outreach in this scenario. Great seeing your comment. It's hard to put myself out there sometimes, so your support means a lot. See, here's what I love about this strategy. Authentic communication is saying what you think and feel. And if you struggle with content and it's scary to you, but you're doing it and somebody's supporting that, let them know why that's meaningful to you. Because something like that, what it does is it disarms people. Vulnerability is disarming. It makes people feel safe. And so, hey, I'd love to learn more about what you shared in your comment. So you might say, hey, here's my favorite product for this particular thing. I'm curious, what's yours? Share it in the comments below. And somebody might share a product or a strategy or a tip. And you reach out to them and you say, hey, tell me more about that thing. So that thing becomes the jumping off point of the conversation. And then, remember, this is only the first piece. So we use authentic outreach to start the conversation. And then we use something that we teach called our transformational conversation flow to actually have the conversation. You're going to learn about that in tonight's session. So just so you understand. Okay, let's talk about your customers now. And by the way, in Love, Serve, Grow, one of the things we do is we have training on authentic outreach. So we cover and we coach you through all the different possible scenarios that you could come up, that you can encounter. We have authentic outreach for every kind of social interaction that you could imagine. Business, product posts, not product posts, likes, comments, follows, you name it. We teach a strategy for it. Let's talk about your customers next. So it is pretty hard for me to believe how few people are actually actively using outreach to their existing customer base as a way to nurture and grow relationships. Like it's beyond, I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why, because a lot of you are really transactional in the way you run your business. And I don't mean that as a slight, because I know you're a good person and I know you want to help, but you're enrolling customers from content. that you never speak to, and you never use that buy as an opportunity to get your foot in the door to get to know them more, right? And so what we have to do is we have to be more intentional around the conversations we have with the people that buy from us so that we can grow relationships, we can focus on problem solving, and we can create opportunities to not only sell more, but have them refer us other business and have some of those people naturally progress to become team members. Like if you're getting customers consistently and that's not automatically growing your team, you have a major breakdown in the way that you deliver your products to your customers. So let me give you some examples of how this could look different. So when we're thinking about our customers and we're putting together our plan for our runway, I want you to prioritize the customers that you have. Because I know for some of you, this part of the plan is probably going to feel a little overwhelming because you might have a lot of customers. So the idea of where do I start might feel like a little intimidating. So I've put together a best practice for you. Here's the way that I would do it. So I would start with any existing customers. So people that are currently buying from me, that's where I start. And when I take that group of people, what I then do is I look at the ones that have the highest lifetime customer value. Now, what is that? Okay, that sounds like a fancy term. It's pretty simple. Who has spent the most money with you over their lifetime of being a customer? Now, you may or may not have a way to determine this in your back office, but what I want to look at is of all the people that buy from me, which ones are the most loyal? Who's been here the longest and who's spent the most money? I want to start with them. And by the way, if you're not prioritizing the way that you actually serve your clients, then you're actually doing your business a disservice. Not every single client gets and deserves equal treatment from you in your business. Now, that might sound weird to say, but it's true because you want to know what? You only have so much time. And so what we do is we put together systems and automations to service our customer base in a broad way, but then we have a process, a transformational process that helps us determine as soon as someone buys if we think they are a good fit for our business beyond just being a one-time buyer. So that's what I start with. An easier way to do it might be just looking at average order value. The people that spend the most money every month, those are the ones that I start with for this process. The second thing that I'm going to do is this. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my existing customers and I'm going to ask myself, which one of these people do I think are the best fit for my team? The kind of people that I really wish I could work with. Because those are the people that you really need to be intentionally focusing on and nurturing your relationships with, because there's potential for them to grow beyond just doing that. And then the third thing is past customers. So people that have bought from you but aren't buying anymore. Now, what I recommend is you start with the most recent first. You know, if you bought from me 2 years ago and I haven't talked to you in 2 years, it's going to be a lot harder for me to use authentic outreach and have it actually connect with you in the way that I want than if you're somebody that bought 2 months ago. And so I start with the most recent purchase and I work backwards. And listen, you might not even get to that part depending on how many customers you have, but this is the way that I would prioritize my authentic outreach. Okay. So let me introduce you to another concept. This is one I think will be really valuable to you. So as you start mapping out your customers and you start thinking about, okay, so I want to contact this person, it is really helpful to do something that I call pre-call planning. So I want to share a quick analogy with you. So I used to be, before I was full-time in network marketing, I was in medical sales. And so I sold a laboratory service and I used to call on physicians. Used to go to doctor's office, primary care doctor's office a lot. And so I remember I had just gotten hired by this company. I was all excited. It was a new job. I had wanted this job for a while. And my manager, Steve, traveled into town to ride with me for the day. And I was all nervous because I wanted to impress Steve and I wasn't sure what I was doing. And I met him at Starbucks at 8 a.m. We drove to the first office at 9 a.m. And I excitedly was like, got my stuff. I was getting ready to get out the car. And he grabbed my arm. He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "Are you forgetting something?" Now I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm already doing something wrong for my new boss. And he's like, so I'm like running through my mind. I'm like, I got my materials. I'm like, I was at a loss. He goes, let me help you. He goes, sit back down in the car. He said, open up your notebook and open up your laptop. He said, I'm going to introduce you to something that if you do, will so dramatically help you in your selling. He said it's called pre-call planning. And so essentially, here's all I did is I sat down and we pulled up the notes, right, in our contact management system about this physician. He said, what do you know about this physician? He's like, which one are your, or do you know, are they using a service already? Are they using a competitor? Have they ever used us before? What conversations have we had with this particular doctor before? What objections? What are their problems? He goes, do you know any of that information? And I was like, well, no, I don't. And he said, well, let's look and let's find out. And we sat there and we looked at the notes and he said, look, what I want you to do is now knowing everything you know about them, I want you to come up with, or we can do it together. Let's come up with 3 to 5 questions that we know if we do get a chance to get in front of this doctor, that we can make the most of his time, but we can get right to the heart of what we need to do. And we sat there and we came up with questions. What I normally would have done is I would have just went into the doctor would have given me a minute, and I would just start selling him on what we did. And interestingly enough, I was not having a lot of success right out of the gate. Now, what I didn't realize Steve was doing me is he was teaching me how to be transformational and not transactional. And so I remember going into that doctor's office and it was a totally different experience. I remember the doctor giving us a moment and I asked him these questions. And what I noticed was it created this really meaningful, powerful conversation where it wasn't me just talking and telling, but it was me listening and learning and connecting with this physician. And that experience for me was one of my light bulb moments. And so what if you did the same thing? What if you just did a little pre-call planning? What if you took better notes as you were having conversations? What if when you signed up a new customer, you didn't just talk about the product, but you started asking what we call purposeful questions to try to dig and find out, does this person have a problem related to my business that might make them a great fit for my team? And I'm not going to pitch them on the first call if they just bought from me, but I'm going to take notes. And I'm going to write down, this is what I think their hot button is. So 2 weeks later, when I want to bring up the business, I'm not bringing it up out of thin air. I'm saying, hey, I was thinking about our conversation the other week. Do pre-call planning. What do you know about this person? So let me give you some things to think about here. Do you know the problem that they had when they first bought from you? If you don't know that, you need to find that out. And so it might be something as simple as just saying, hey, I apologize. I never knew this. Could you tell me? So do you know the problem that they had? That's important because we always want to lead with problem solving. Number 2, if you know a little bit about them and you know the problem they have, let's brainstorm some other issues that they might be running into that we could maybe lead the conversation into. If it's a working mom that is struggling with her weight, well, maybe energy is also an issue. So that might be a thread that I want to pull on in the conversation. Look at what products they're buying from you, okay? Are there other products that could complement the one product that you could tie into their goals and their problems and say, listen, you've been enjoying this product. You tell me you're still struggling with this thing. I want to offer what I think could be another solution for you. And then when we think about Black Friday, is there an opportunity for them to buy more of that product, stock up on it at a discounted price? That's serving your clientele. And so that's what I want you to think about. Like, just be intentional. People are not intentional. We've been conditioned to go so fast, and it's like, it's a numbers game, and it's massive action, and it's more, throw it against the wall, talk to 25 people per day, but we do it in a totally transactional way that is completely ineffective. And what I'm telling you is if you don't have the right plan, I don't care how hard you work, I don't care how many people you talk to, you are never going to get to where you want to go. And you will do so much more damage. You will leave a wake of damaged relationships in the way to get to that one person that's ready to say yes because of the way you're running your business. You must be better. You must be better. It's slowing down to learn a better way to do it so you can start speeding up and make major progress towards your transformational goals. All right, so let me show you some examples of outreach for customers. And then we're going to bring Megan up here with us in a couple of minutes. We're going to hear from her, and then we're going to make the big announcement. So stay with me here. We're getting closer to the announcement for our 2 scholarship winners. So here's an example of what it could look like for a customer. Hey, Jill, just wanted to check in with you, see how you were doing. Look, I know you were struggling with blank. How's that going for you? So this would be an example if I know the problem that they had when they first bought from me. So I asked, now what I want to point out to you is this. There's a space in between these different things. So I would send that first message, and then you don't send anything else. You send the first message and you wait for them to respond. It's a conversation, okay? Once she responds, then I send the second bullet point. And then once she responds, then I send the third bullet. So you get that, it's conversational. So what's your goal in this area? She starts telling me like where she wants to be. And then I can say something like this. So I'm curious, what's 1 or 2 things that you think you really need to get to that goal? Now, this is valuable because you're going to learn tonight when I teach you our transformational conversation flow, we're going to talk about building the gap. So inside of a conversation, what we're looking to do is we're looking to get clear on where they are and where they want to go, and then have them tell us the things they need to get there, which makes it, by the way, in a sales conversation, makes it pretty easy to sell because all you do is you just talk about the things that they told you they needed. But this would be one example of how you could do it. Here's another one. Hey, Jill, wanted to check in with you, see how you're doing. Pause, wait. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Yeah, sure. How has your experience been with the products? Right? This is a great question to ask, right? How has your experience been with the products, or how has your experience been working with me? I'd love to get some honest feedback from you. What are some of the things that I have done well, and what are some areas where you think I can improve? See, we talk a lot about love, serve, grow. And love, serve, grow is about leading with love. And when you have love at the center of your business and life, what that means is that it is rooted in a deep inner sense of self-worth. You know the results of your business do not determine your self-worth. You are worthy because you exist. And so when you're coming from a place of love, it gives you the ability to be able to open up to feedback that can help you improve your business. Look, sometimes negative feedback is not easy to hear, but if you're coming from a place of love, sometimes negative feedback is just what you need to make your business better. So this could also not just be a conversation that could help you sell more products and build stronger relationships, but it could help you be better in your business for the future people that you serve. What are you feeling stuck and struggling with right now? What do you think you need to help you in this area? So what I'm doing here is I'm just giving you different kinds of questions that you could ask. These are all transformational questions or purposeful questions. You could use them in any order that you want. And then I believe we have one more here. So, hey, Jill, it's been a while. So maybe it's a past customer, okay? Or somebody that you just haven't spoken to in a while. How are you? And then reference something specific on their profile, right? Reference something specific on their profile. Once again, it is so frustrating to me how often people are so lazy in the way they sell, and they're so clearly sending a copy and paste message. They don't even take the time to personalize the outreach and connect with you over something that you just did. If you can reference something that they've recently done on their profile, you will increase the likelihood of them responding by easily 5-fold. Next, so maybe you go back and forth about the thing. Hey, can I ask you a question? And shame on me for not knowing this. Once again, we're authentic communication. Own it. Don't be afraid. What were you struggling with when you first bought whatever product from me? Was there something that you were dealing with? Is this something that's still an issue for you? There's a very strong likelihood it still is. And so if you can bring the conversation back to the fact that they're still struggling with it, then you might be able to dig deeper and say, what other kinds of things have you tried since buying that product? Why don't you think they work? Are you still interested in getting, are you still interested in solving that problem? Would you like some help? Such a simple question, but such a powerful question. Would you like some help? Hey, Jill, would you like some help in this area? Yeah, how could you help me? Or, yeah, it depends. Like when you elevate your skill set when it comes to selling, the conversations become so much more effortless. It really is amazing. So, all right. So those are just a few examples of authentic outreach. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, okay, this is great. Naturally what you go to is, all right, but what happens once they start responding? So tonight, I'm gonna teach you something that we call our transformational conversation flow. So I'm gonna teach you the next piece of the puzzle. I'm gonna show you an overview around how we have conversations. It'll be very different than what most of you have done before. So make sure you tune in tonight. But I want to introduce somebody that I'm really excited for you to hear from. I'll pull her up on the stage here with me in a moment. But Megan is a coaching client of ours inside of Love, Serve, Grow. She's been working with one of our coaches for a little while. And I wanted to just share with you a couple of posts, and she might not even know that I have this second one because this was just sent my way this morning. And I'm like, I got to throw this into my presentation. But I want you to just kind of really get the heart behind this share that she had. She said, I decided enough was enough. She had listened to the podcast for years. She took courses, but she never implemented what I was teaching. I bet that describes a lot of you. Until I decided I wanted to see changes in my business, then it was on me. So she attended a workshop of ours just a month or so ago and decided that she was going to go all in on her growth and her development. She said it's led to clarity on social media, engagement through the roof. She just shared a message this morning. Her engagement is up 700% in just 3 weeks of working with us. More conversations, knowing how to message in an authentic way, creating my own community. This is the best that I've ever felt in my business. So if you're like me, if you've taken the courses, but you haven't implemented, let this be your little nudge. So Megan, I am really excited here to have you hop on with me and share your story with everybody. Hey, Megan.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I got chills listening to that.
It's a really inspiring story. And let's just give everybody the time frame that we're talking about here.
Yeah, so I've been with Love Serve Grow for about a month and Inner Circle for 3 weeks. So I've just like scratched the surface.
Yeah.
But I've been a Bob fan for a while.
So
Yeah.
you joined Love Serve Grow with one of the free trial offers that we did.
Yeah, correct.
And very quickly realized that you wanted to work with a coach. So you upgraded your membership to get access to coaching. And give a shout out to your coach.
Ashley.
So Ashley is your coach. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So Megan, let's talk a little bit about, help me understand where you were in your business before you joined Love, Serve, Grow. What was going on? How were you feeling about your business?
Yeah, so I had a very successful business pre-pandemic. Pandemic happened. I'm a frontline healthcare worker, so the pandemic was really hard and I was not in a good place. So I actually paused my business and unsubscribed from Bob. Like I was anti-network marketing. So I was trying after pandemic to really rebuild my business all over again. And I just felt like I was stuck in the waters, didn't know where to go, didn't know how to restart. I have 2 little ones at home, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I was like saying no to taking them to the park because mommy had a business she needed to build. I didn't know how to have conversations. I didn't know what content I should be making. Like I was so lost, so lost. And just spinning my tires. I felt like I was on my phone. Actually, I was on my phone for 6 to 7 hours a day, but yet I couldn't take my kids to the park for 30 minutes. And really, I was just putting in busy work. I wasn't being productive with my time.
Yeah. And so you were, how long have you been in your business total?
So I've been with my company for 5 years total.
Got it. How much of a decrease did you see from that COVID high to where you were? prior to joining?
Oh, like I lost everything. I lost my team. I lost my customers, my self confidence, my worthiness,
Mm,
everything, everything. Yeah,
wow. Wow.
yeah.
I know there'll be a lot of people that can relate to that, Megan, for sure. I think that
Hmm.
you have probably just perfectly described the way that the majority of people feel that are in this profession today. And
Yeah,
so, okay, great. So you joined Love Serve Grow.
yeah.
Was there any one or two specific things that you really were looking for help with that you knew you needed some help with?
Daily method of operation. I run a tight ship, tight household. It's busy here with two little kids and all of the extracurriculars. And I just needed somebody to tell me how to fit it in. Like, I can't keep doing this for 8 hours a day. So tell me what I need to do. Give me a system. And I also just needed clarity on, honestly, social media. A lot of what I was being taught by different, and I kept going to different people in my upline, was just create reels, make more reels, make a reel every day, post this, check off all the boxes. And it just didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel good. Nothing felt authentic. So those were the big areas that I was really looking for. I just wanted to feel good about my business and what I was putting out there again, and also wanted to do it in a way where my kids weren't being sacrificed and my quality time with them
Yeah.
wasn't being neglected as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. So one of the things that we do in with our coaching is one of our coaches will do a time and a productivity audit with you. So they'll actually look at the way, what are you doing in your business and where are you spending your time? Our goal is we want to help you create better results in less time. Because we
Yeah.
find that most of the clients that we work with, they're wasting time doing things that are not actually addressing the real problem that you had. And so you doing like a reel every day was a
Yeah.
good example as a busy working mom. Like it was like that's like crazy to me. It's not
Yeah.
necessary.
And you know,
And
at the end of the day, I usually would delete the reel. I'd post it and then I wouldn't get enough likes or comments. So that kind of affected my worthiness. Or
mm,
I'd see the background where the kids' toys are in the background and it wasn't perfect. So I'd put in all this work and then I'd delete it.
yeah,
Right. So it was just, yeah, not working smart. I was
yeah.
working very hard, but not smart.
Well, what was interesting is, and this would be a perfect example. A lot of times we come into a program thinking we know that the problem that we have. But then once we get in, and once again, this is just the value of having a coach, they help you see your blind spots. What wasn't so much on your radar is the conversation piece, which is,
Yeah.
we see this all the time. People think, I just need to be better at content. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You just need to be better at conversations because you already have opportunities with your content that you're not leveraging. So, talk a
Yeah.
little bit about how working with your coach and what you learned in Love Serve Grow with what we're teaching you. Talk about how that has really helped you in your business.
Well, it's given me clarity on the conversations, like not just throwing in the pitch, listening to people, actually listening to people. Sometimes I'd be in conversations and I'd be like, how are you? But at the end of the day, I was like, I didn't really care how you were. I just want to throw you my link. Right. So I'm having more genuine conversations. They've helped me framework how the conversation should flow and just kind of relax. And then for content wise, like it's given me a framework for what type of content I should be putting out there. And some of my content was good, but I was actually giving out too much content. I was posting a recipe, but I was posting the whole recipe. So
Mm,
then I was giving value, but I was giving value in an unproductive way, I guess you could say.
yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
here's where we get into the strategy of the way you do things matter. And so
yeah,
being able, I'm sure Ashley giving you that feedback and looking at your content, looking at your conversations, what it does is it just helps you get to where you want to go even faster. Would that be
mhm.
fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you are, just to reiterate, you are 3 weeks into coaching. Talk about what has already happened in your business. What
Oh
results have you seen
gosh.
this month?
I could write a book. I feel better about what I'm doing. I am having so many conversations. I actually posted today on Facebook. I stole this from your workshop yesterday. A lead magnet. It's only been up for 3 hours, and I already have 75 people that want my PDF. So I guess I need to make a PDF. I don't even have this PDF made yet. Um, but it's just created like good conversations, a smart system, a plan, a daily method of operation, clarity. I feel better. Oh my gosh, I could cry. I have quality time with my kids. I'm no longer like throwing them in front of the TV watching Coco Melon and Paw Patrol while mommy's on her phone all day. Like it's just been life changing. Life changing. I can message Ashley at any point if I get stuck at all, and she's there for me.
That's
So
awesome.
it's been life changing. Yeah.
Well, what gets me excited is, once again, we are 3 weeks in to the process. And so when I think of someone like you that clearly is not somebody, you're not afraid of working hard, right?
Mhm.
With the right plan and the right approach and a little bit of extra direction from somebody guiding you,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where you are 6 months from now in your business. It's going to be truly
Thank you.
incredible. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah,
It's the best decision I ever made. Yeah.
awesome. And you, Megan, what company are you with? We had a couple
I'm
people
with
ask.
a health and wellness company, Arbonne.
Awesome. Great. Well, Megan, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so
Thank you.
excited for you. We really appreciate you being a part of our community. And I know everybody really enjoyed hearing your story.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the group too. It's been wonderful. And Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, this is it. This is the big moment that we have been waiting for. We are going to announce our scholarship winners. Now, listen, I got to apologize ahead of time. I'm just going to say, it was pretty overwhelming yesterday. I spent, myself and my team, we spent the better part of the day reading your posts. And so I just want to, first off, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, and I know I speak for my whole team, thank you so much for taking the time to really share your stories. I mean, it was very inspiring to me. And so I just want to let you know, we're very grateful. And listen, I wish we could give a scholarship away to everybody, but we can't. And so we had to choose 2 people. And I want to let you know the process that we went about was somewhat random, but not totally. To try to make the process easier, we chose a handful of people. We went through and intentionally found people that we really felt like, okay, we really appreciated what you said. So we did read what you said, and then we randomly chose from there. Okay, so we wanted to remove any bias whatsoever. So as I mentioned, we chose one winner from our free public group, and then we chose one of our students that is going to upgrade their membership to get access. So first, I want to share with you the winner in our free public group. The winner is Amber Davrit. So you can see Amber's post there that she shared. Amber, you are going to get 3 months of Inner Circle coaching inside of Love, Serve, Grow. That is almost a $1,500 value. We are going to be reaching out to you. So in case you're not here live, if you know Amber, you can let her know. We will be messaging you on Facebook, letting you know you've won and giving you the instructions of how to get started. We will assign you to your coach today so you can hit the ground running and we can start helping you reach your goals. Next winner is, and this is one of our students, is Kelsey Lynn. I don't know Kelsey's last name. I should know it. But Kelsey Lynn is our scholarship winner, 3 months of Inner Circle coaching, over $1,500 value. We are going to be assigning you to your coach, both of you. So congratulations to both of our winners. And, like I said, just thank you to all of you that took the time. Now, so here's what I want to do now. I want to share this special offer that we've got planned for you. So let me first talk about Inner Circle coaching. Part of the big announcement, the special offer, is that we are opening up spots for our inner circle coaching. We first introduced our Inner Circle coaching in June of this year. We had an overwhelming demand. We sold out all of the available coaching spots in just under 24 hours. Okay. We had so many people sign up, we started freaking out. We're like, okay, we have to make sure that we can deliver the experience that we want. And so we haven't circle coaching. We are going to throw sessions. Me up on this offer, just like Megan did. Teach you essentially what happens after that initial outreach. And we're going to empower you to have a better way to have conversations. So make sure you tune in tonight, 8 o'clock. I'll see you in just a few hours. I need to go and clear my head and rest up and get myself ready because tonight is going to be an incredible session. So thanks for being here. I'll see you later.